going back, because man is not man unless man is half woman. Woman is not woman unless woman is half man. She didn't have to go through all of this because she was God all the time. But they knew that the man was a child. And they knew he had to subdue his beastly nature and subdue his passions to come upright on the square, as Masons would say. To go into the higher level. He would have to become half woman. Because the woman is the spiritual side. She represents the spiritual side, and the man represents the aggressive side. But also the woman, there's aggressive goddesses as well as spiritual goddesses. The woman, she's just bad. You look at the way she looks and tell that. Sure. All that's symbolic. All that's symbolic. The big booty that you see, that's symbolic. The big thighs that you see, those thighs represent the throne of Isis, where Horus, the child of God, which is represented as Jesus later on, used to sit on. All that symbolic. Everything. But they would go all the way back, and this was like saying, returning back to the womb. Like I said in the other lecture, you either can return back to the womb the ignorant way, on the beastly level, or you can return back to the womb on the high level and have all this in check. And when you return back down here, all that's in check. That's called immaculate conception. You see, there's science all in that. But this is symbolic of going back to the womb. And they have bodies, they have corpses, they have bodies that's been mummified or somehow carved in ice. Even all in Europe, when we migrated up into Europe and later on became white before, they got bodies, bone structures of men and women going into the fetal position, going back into the same way they came out. Because they knew I had to get back to that great mother. That's going to take me on in to another level, to the other level. That's why I'm stressing the importance of this. We got everything else. We're going to get this knowledge, but there's one thing that we got to understand. We got to get back to this, because the African man was strong. He didn't have to trip on whether this woman had all this power. He knew his place. It's the same thing with the lion we was talking about before the lecture. That male lion, that woman, she does everything. He just sit there. She go out and get the food and come back and feed the kids. Oh, he eats the food before the kids get it. He just sit and say, what does he do? Go in that den and find out what he do. You understand? In Ethiopia, when Alexander the Great invaded, he went into Kemet. He was going on down into Ethiopia, but he said, "Oh Lord, that's the seat of black power." And they had most of Ethiopian monarchy was queens. And he said, "Damn, I don't want to go down in there, because that's the seat of black power." Candace queens. And he said, "That's the seat of black power. And I don't want to risk getting my behind whipped by a woman." So he turned back. And that's how strong that is. And isn't it ironic that all the continents and all the continents in the world and all the countries in Africa was colonized by Europe except Ethiopia. And then we see all this stuff start going on in Ethiopia about around 1985 on up to now, and we understand divine intervention don't step in until you on your last leg. You see how things go? They go in cycles. But anyway, this is the temple of Aphrodite, and this is the Holy of Holies.